Hello everyone. Today I'm going to try to run through a demonstration of meditation, listing all the little things that you're supposed to try to do and feel as you go through. So I'm going to start with what people can do about bad backs and how you can help your back a little bit in this position. If you have back pain or a back that just won't do what you want it to for long enough, there's some stuff that you can do to take the pressure off of your back a little bit. Now normally you're going to want just the lotus position here, but you can modify this a little bit. You can put pillows behind you here, and you can just tilt everything back like this. That way it takes a little bit of pressure off your back, and you can loosen up a little bit of your muscles a little bit, take a little bit of the strain off of them, and but still keep them tense enough to make your meditation work, make the energy path work. Now you just have to support the rest of your body as the position changes, and you'll just have to keep the position the same. The only thing that's going to change is your head's going to move a little bit forward like this, because you'll have to balance your head. But this little change in position right here is not a big deal, because the energy flow goes through your tongue up into your head more than it does through your spine. So you're actually shortening the path when you do this. And it seems like because of that, it's not really a problem. This is probably built into the human mechanism as well. Because if it weren't, it wouldn't work, I think. Now, first off, you're going to point east, of course, and you're going to want to get balanced and all that, get your position there. And then what you're going to try to feel for is you're going to try to feel the point which has the most nerves for the chakra. Like, we're going to start with the root one. The root one is just your tailbone. So there's nerves there in your tailbone, but there's not a lot of space for it to feel. So you just kind of have to feel your tailbone and the pressure against your tailbone, and that makes you want to try to feel the earth that you're sitting on. You want to kind of become rooted, like you're a plant and you are sitting on the ground and you're getting roots and you're connecting to the earth, sort of thing. And you're connecting to Mother Earth and your connections to Mother Earth, and you're connecting to the roots of your ancestors, and you're basically centering yourself in a general fashion, like your place in the world. Your place in the world consists of, where you came from, who you came from, and your spiritual connections and such to Mother Earth and stuff like that. Probably not a lot to confront here. It's more of like connecting to natural spirits and the earth. It's not like you have to deal with things that you've done in your past, per se, with this chakra, because this is talking about the past before you, kind of thing. So you'll want to spend a little bit of time feeling your tailbone area and right around that, and feeling like you're connected to the ground and rooted in the ground, and try to make yourself feel like you're connected to the earth. You don't need to be connected to the earth, or you don't need to be grounded. You can't really ground yourself, but if you did, it would be a problem. But you can sit wherever. You just need to maintain this position. Pretty close. You can move your head, you can move your legs a little bit. Just make sure you're supported. Next, after feeling that we're rooted and stuff, we'll move up and we'll try to feel the sex chakra. It's located in your sacrum, like it's in the middle of your pelvis. So this is going to be a little bit, you're going to feel this point just a little bit above and inside the tailbone, right behind your naughty parts. Now, like, you're not going to feel anything in your spine here per se. You can only kind of feel your tailbone because you're kind of sitting on it. You're not going to really feel, the only thing you're going to feel in your spine is when the Kundalini rises, and then you'll sit up straight like this, and you'll know that your spine has like been stiffened up, sort of thing. But with all the other sensations, you don't feel the chakra or the energy vortex like in your spine in the back. You feel this stuff in the front more, because that's like where the actual stuff for the chakra is. That's where the nerves go to. Now, so for the solar plexus here, there is, well, for the sex chakra, you're just going to feel it basically. You're going to feel your naughty parts. You're going to feel happy about relations you may have or have had. You're going to want to be pleased that you have this nice, pleasurable body you've been given. Now, to overcome any blockages here, I'd say you want to try to be free from any guilt that has to do with sexual stuff. You want to be pleased with the body you've been given and how it can feel pleasure, and how that's a good thing. And you'll have to overcome any kind of shame or guilt that you might feel about sex at all, and just, I would say, try to revert back to the basics that God gave you this body, and there's no shame in sexuality and stuff. The only shame in it is if people do something terrible with it. That's the only thing. So you may have to overcome some past thing, but as long as you just know that this is a good thing, your body is a good thing, there's nothing inherently bad here, you should be able to move on and overcome the guilt, or any guilt or shame or anything. And then you can move on to the first real important one, I would say, and the first more complicated one. The first two are like relatively simple here. Here's a basic diagram. There's your tailbone down here. That's the first one. Right above the tailbone, they say, is the Kundalini serpent coiled up. Then right above that is the sex chakra. And then when you get to the fire chakra, your energy chakra here, it's kind of two things in one, in a way. There's the chakra itself, but there's this void, they call it, and it's kind of like an aperture that you can kind of control by flexing your abdominal muscles more and less. You can open and close this aperture, so to speak, once you get practiced with it. Now when you open and close this aperture and do different things to control what's going on with this muscle in the void and stuff, you'll slowly get a feel for how it opens and closes, how to kind of manage the energy. You can try to make the energy go up, you can try to make the energy go down by relaxing, you can flex your muscles in different ways. There's a little bit to learn here in how to manage this stuff. Because remember, when we start out, we've got the 3 bandas here that we're going to stiffen up. 1, 2, 1, we're going to pull our belly up here, and our private parts down here, we're going to pull all that, everything we can feel, we're going to pull it up. And the muscles by your tailbone that make you sit up straight, that's the second one. And then the third one is your tongue against the top of your throat here. So you're keeping your belly tight and you're managing this, and this is like this is something that you're gonna have to learn how to manage and control. And you'll probably have to figure out how to control this before you move on. You'll at least have to kind of figure out how to regulate this, how it works, and how to just try to keep it steady instead of it'll try to be out of control at first. It'll try to go up and down and stuff. And this is the prana, or the sunshine, coming into your belly, and this will make the energy start flowing in your body. You'll feel like what feels like sunlight all over your body, like, but inside you, like a warm, tingling, healing energy will just come over you. So you want to try to learn to regulate that to where it's not getting out of control, but also to where it doesn't kind of go away, where the fire doesn't burn out. You got to learn how to keep the fire burning kind of steady with a certain amount of energy, so then you can move on to the next chakras, and then that energy being constant will be like a source of fuel for you to do things in your meditation. Like, this energy allows you to start changing things. It's basically the power to heal and maintain your body. Now this one sort of relies on your inner confidence. It's like if you feel good about who you are and what direction you're going in general, in life and stuff, this is going to be strong for you. If you have doubt about what's happening in your life and such, you may have some trouble. If you have some stomach problems and you have trouble working your diaphragm, that may cause you some problems. If you have back pain and it gets worse when you tighten your abdomen, try the different position. So yeah, this is basically just providing, once you get this up and running, it's providing the power that you need to do the rest of your work and providing the power for change. It's kind of like, I would describe it like this is an energy you can bathe things in, thoughts, bad feelings. You can bathe things in this healing energy, and you can heal thoughts to where they don't hurt as much anymore. Now, that one, of course, you're going to feel it all right here, and then once it gets going, you're going to feel it all over you. And you'll start to feel what sort of feels like some sort of path of energy going through your spine. It's like a pre-Kundalini or something. It's kind of like energy starts flowing, but it's not the Kundalini yet. But you never know when the Kundalini is going to pop up. You really don't. Even people that have never done this before will occasionally have the Kundalini pop up, before they've even gotten to the last chakras and stuff. You really never know how the Kundalini is going to pop up. It totally does it by itself. So then when you're confident and just, you can simply feel confident about you having this power to change yourself now. Like if you don't feel right about something, you can simply think about how you can right that. Now that you have this energy, you have the power for change, you can right the wrongs. You can be whoever you want to be. So then next we'll move on to the heart. Of course, you probably shouldn't have to wonder what to feel here, because your heart is you're always going to feel your heart pretty much. And anytime, the heart is one that will always have stuff to confront. The heart is always stuff that will be easy to bring up, things that bring up like big emotions and stuff. So the heart is going to be your first hurdle where you have to really confront things, and things will pop up. It's really amazing how things can pop up like way out of your past and stuff. It's really amazing how when you sit here and you contemplate with a lot of focus on your heart, this energy system that you've created, this healing energy system, it will just pull all kinds of stuff out of your past, like things that you have forgotten about for a long time that are like just maybe barely affecting you. Just sit there and contemplate, and things will come, and you'll probably have to deal with a lot of stuff at first, because it's a tough world out there, and there's a lot of pressure, and it's brutal. So things end up happening to us that we have to come back and deal with. And like I said before, one of the best ways I've found to deal with these things is you want to try to bathe these bad feelings in the healing energy, and you want to try to attach what positive thoughts, what healing type of thoughts you can to these memories that hurt. That will help you overcome them. And of course, the normal way you overcome things is you admit that you don't know everything. You admit that you're probably guilty in some fashion, because it takes two to tango. And whenever you have a problem with somebody or something else, it's never just a one-sided thing. So a big part of this is dealing with the skeletons in your closet, and this is like redemption in God's eyes. You are admitting that you're probably wrong somewhere and that you're not right. When you do that, when you put away your ego, then you will be shown what's bothering you, or what skeletons in your closet, that sort of thing. And to have this chakra open, you need the benevolent attitude of Jesus. And you need to more you need to see that people aren't spiteful and evil and stuff. You know, things just happen, bad things happen, and we have to forgive people, and that's a huge part of it too. A lot of it is just taking something that we haven't forgiven somebody for and forgiving them for it. This is a big thing Jesus preaches too. You're not going to overcome hurdles if you cling to grudges and stuff like that. This is where you get rid of them. So you need to let go of any blame you have. You know, you need to accept any blame you might have, accept any guilt you might have, and just try to move past it. Forgive and forget. And this healing energy, it will help you forget. It's sometimes a hard thing for some people. So now that we've overcome some skeletons in our closet, you don't have to overcome all the skeletons in your heart at the same time. Thankfully, you will be able to move on after you've overcome a certain amount of skeletons in your closet. You will be just allowed to move on. And the next time you come back, you'll be given something else to address. But you really only, at each sitting, you really only have to address one or two things. Whatever is really popping up and bothering you is usually what you have to address. Whatever is in your face. If you address even just one thing, it's usually enough for you to you feel, you get emotional, and that emotion is enough to put you in a certain state. Like, it's almost like you need to feel something deeply in your heart to move on to the next chakra. So then after we've done that, we'll move on to the throat. Now the throat is all about truth and honesty and knowing what you're talking about. Like in Buddhism, they say, speak correctly. This is, think about what you're talking about, know what you're talking about, try not to make mistakes, try not to talk about what you don't know, right? So, and when you don't know, admit you don't know. So, the more honest you are, the more truthful you are, the more you speak from your heart, the more you are outspoken and righteous about your own truth. These things will open or close this. So you want to be honest, you want to be righteous, you want to be outspoken, and you want to speak correctly. And this one, you'll probably be confronting your own mistruths or half-truths or whatever that you may have said in your life. They may come back to you. Little reminders of ways to be more truthful may come to you here. Things that you've said, things that you may regret have said. You can ask for forgiveness and repent. And then once you've felt this and dealt with some of the things that come forward, then you can move on to the next one, the crown chakra, or not the crown chakra, but the third eye chakra. Now for the third eye chakra, I would say what you want to do is coming out of your heart, you want to dive as far as you can into Jesus's spirit, I would say. So this is like the benevolent attitude, like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, I think this is the point to where you need to lose your ego. You need to have the attitude like, I am nothing but dust in the wind. And God knows everything, right? And once you feel like you want to help others more than yourself, you want to have like a selfless attitude, and you want to kind of ask yourself, what can I do to be a better person and less selfish and help other people more? You want to have this like exuberant attitude of Jesus. Now, when you have this attitude, then your stuff in your visual perception will change. You'll go from just having like a dark circle sort of thing in front of you. It will light up and it will change, and it will start doing different things. It usually gets brighter, the circle, and oftentimes you'll have the monkey mind running around. All of a sudden your visual field will open up, and when your third eye opens up like this, then you'll have the big bright circle instead of the dark one. You'll have the monkey mind trying to run around. You'll have to, this is the point where you can manifest hands to where you can control things in there. So visualize hands. Everything that you're doing in your meditation, try to visualize every single part. Whether it be feeling your tailbone, visualize the something little glowing thing in your tailbone, something like that. Visualize it. Visualize every aspect of what you're doing. When you're thinking about a thought, give it some kind of visual identity. Try to use your visual imagination as much as you possibly can, and this will help you work through everything, especially the third eye part, where everything is visual. You will have to do all kinds of stuff in here. So first you're gonna, if your monkey mind jumps out at you, then you'll have to grab it and you'll have to tame it. But this is basically like where you get to where you contemplate and you start just looking around and exploring. That's what I would say you're doing most of the time when you get to the top chakras. You're kind of contemplating, kind of exploring, looking around, trying different things, just seeing what pops out. It's kind of like just doing basic maintenance. You're kind of looking around, you're seeing